2 lifelong friends, 1 local establishment. The hidden truth is out there, and we're going to talk about it. What happens in the bar no longer stays in the bar. This is Conspiracy Beerists.
And welcome to the latest episode of Conspiracy Beerists. And it's going to be sort of a wide-ranging of topics today because we thought we would start with a little quick chat with tomorrow being 9/11. So how you doing, Brian?
Great.
What's been new?
Happy 9/11.
Happy 9/11. Well, the reason I brought it up is I wanted to say it's been almost 20 years. How do you think the world has changed in that?
Gosh. Right away.
For good or bad?
Oh, awful. Our rights are being taken away for sure. Right after. They knew it.
I mean, we did a brief little 9/11 a year or so ago, but actually we're getting really close to this is probably our 1-year anniversary show.
Wow, happy 9/11.
Yeah, indeed.
Jeez Louise.
So do you think that was sort of a planned?
I think for sure it was planned, and it was like 15 minutes after the second one fell, they knew that it was Osama bin Laden. Like CNN knew. They're like, I think it was Osama. Just fucking feeding the world lies. And they couldn't find the guy because he was in a cave, right? But then there's somebody that went and interviewed him in the cave. Crazy. And then they throw him overboard when Obama kills him.
Well, that just happened recently with that Antifa dude. They interviewed him, and then he gets...
Well, he's the one that shot somebody. And then he pointed a weapon, I think, at the cops or something, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he was interviewed too.
Right,
and then...
Vice.
Oh, was it Vice? Yeah, I didn't hear that part. So I'm just saying all these criminals or wanted people, they can be found.
Oh, right.
It's just a matter of...
Why can't America find them? You know?
Well, I think you just sort of answered that, didn't you?
I think him and George Bush were buddies when they were little kids or something.
Well, they said the Bush family and his family had business dealings or something.
Well, when they closed down the airports after nobody could fly anymore, that day, 9/11, they let either his parents or something fly back to Iraq or wherever the hell he was from.
Saudi Arabia.
But they were the only ones that could fly. Like, why did that happen? How can that happen?
It's like having a Bond villain with his own island. He can just come and go as he pleases.
There's a lot of those too.
But our main topic today is... I've been kind of harping for a while. I wanted to talk about the moon landing and everything, kind of centering around that. And you said before we went on the air that you're not sure you completely believe it. So
no, I mean, I don't know for sure, obviously, but there's just too many weird things that happened before, and they haven't gone back since. That's a bummer. And there's an interview with some guy that he said the reason why we can't go back is because we threw away all the blueprints away, and it's too much of a pain to get it back. He says, and he's a NASA scientist or something.
Well, I do think it's odd that we haven't been back, and I think with Elon Musk, his all of that, which I know we've talked off air about Mars and him and all that stuff before, but I think it's coming, but we'll see. I mean, I am obviously in the believe it camp, so
right.
But a lot of the stuff,
supposedly we're going to go back to the moon and stay there,
right?
Supposedly, but haven't we been flying with like China and Russia there, or at least to our
the International Space Station?
Because we're saving money or something.
Well, that was one weird thing. Is one of the videos that I watched that I didn't realize, I guess, was they took all of the technology from the Gemini rockets and whatnot, and sort of instilled it into the space shuttle, but the space shuttle can only go as far as the International Space Station. It can't go.
Can't go to the moon.
Yeah, can't go farther for whatever
How
reason.
far is the moon? It's like 666,000 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
It's crazy. Or the sun is that or something.
Well, that was one weird thing about the moon. One of the videos I watched was sort of the really out there conspiracies saying that the moon isn't a natural satellite. And one of the weird coincidences, which I know you say there's no coincidences,
I think there's a few.
But the moon, and I'm trying to remember this, the moon is 200 times smaller than the Earth, and the Earth is 200 times smaller than the sun.
Okay. How do they get that?
You got
and
me.
The weird thing is all the stars are supposedly further away than the sun, right?
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, each star is another
too.
sun.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's even...
This shows you how big the universe is.
That's right. So there's got to be living things out there, right?
Well, I know there's living things out there, but
you've seen one. That's right.
I mean, I didn't
think it was?
I didn't see an alien,
Right.
but I seen a UFO. Yeah.
But do you think it was like made from?
I can't say exactly what it was, and I mean,
triangle.
It's right. If you see where I'm pointing right now,
Yeah.
I seen it right over there when I was
Wow.
16 years old. So
That's crazy.
is what it is, but don't take my word for it.
Research.
Go out and look for it yourself.
You ever see the Netflix where the guy can actually manifest it? There's a fucking video on, I think it's called The Man Who Talks to UFOs or some shit. But he sits there, he's a goofy dude. And he sits there and he looks, and a few minutes later you see this fucking thing.
Is it the one from Australia?
I think so, probably.
I think I have watched that. And then there's one my buddy Rob sent me. This guy had like hundreds of encounters with aliens and has them on videotape and stuff.
And they come to the window.
Yeah. And the one that's right in the window, it's like it's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's obvious. It's a cutout.
Yeah, I would still shit myself. For sure.
Well, yeah, back in the day when we had an apartment together, you used to shit yourself watching the X-Files. So,
All right.
So, you don't necessarily believe that we went to the moon.
It's just weird. There's videos of a guy that his name is actually Bart Sibrel. He was a conspiracy theorist that went up to Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and asked them to swear on the Bible that they went, but they wouldn't do it. But I mean, there's another guy that didn't do it too, and they were mad at him for it. They're like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face." It's a video.
Well, Buzz Aldrin did deck some dude.
Yeah, same guy.
Is it the same dude?
But then he talked to this little girl saying that we didn't go to the moon. She's like, "Why haven't we gone back to the moon?" We should put that one on. It's a short video. We'll put it on there. But yeah. So I don't know. Plus, just the things that happened and when they show the thing going up, like who filmed that? Like, did they leave a camera, GoPro on the moon?
Yes.
Did they?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, how do you know? Have you been on the moon?
No, neither has anybody else. No, I don't know.
No, why haven't we been there then?
I don't know. Money? Is that why? It's not technology, because I think we're a little better off now.
No, I mean, why haven't we been on there in the first place?
Oh, well, we got on there first because we wanted to beat Russia, right?
Right.
And it seems like they had so many accidents trying to get there. Then they have a bunch blow up.
Right.
Yeah.
People died in test flights and stuff.
Right.
So.
But
that wouldn't happen these days. People would be in too much of an uproar. So I'd be like,
yeah.
you'd have to cancel that now and blah, blah, blah.
Cancel culture. BLM.
One of the weird things that then again, I believe we were on the moon, but
You too, huh?
yeah,
Cobra?
see, Kobe believes we've been on the moon. But one of the weird things I thought was the whole 12 minutes that the video feed cut out. And the conspiracy people will say that there were aliens there when we got off. Or
would you step on the fucking thing if you seen a bunch of fucking aliens?
me? Yeah, I would, but that's just me. I mean, I used to be a ghost hunter, so I'm really not afraid of experiencing any of that stuff. So. Would you? Probably not.
I probably would because it was just Arizona, I think. It was the desert, something like that.
Well, it depends on what conspiracy video you want to watch.
And then they got, remember the picture of the boot, first step or whatever, and it's got the lines.
Right.
Well, they got Neil Armstrong's, I don't know how recent, maybe 4 years ago or something, brought out his suit, put it in a museum somewhere. Well, the boots are all flat on the bottom. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Well, that's some of the problems with some of the conspiracies is they kind of overlap themselves and they don't do their research and they make these professional videos.
Right.
And one guy was talking about the moon would have like miles and miles of dust on it, but there wouldn't be that much dust on it because there's no vacuum in space.
Right.
So
now that's another thing. They were saying, I seen some videos where they got the buggy,
right,
and it's kicking up sand. Wouldn't the sand just float, or because of gravity, or would it?
There is no gravity,
That's
so
what I mean. That would.
I mean, it's gonna kick up.
Right. Just like, but it's not gonna fall back down, right?
I mean, it will eventually. There's like a minute amount of gravity.
Oh, there is.
That's why they did that feather and hammer test up there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, because if you take a feather and a hammer and you drop them at the same time, they'll drop at the same.
Did you see the fishing line hooked to them?
See, that's a lot of my problems with some of the conspiracy videos is they take these angles and stuff.
But yeah, there are some. Do you see the ones where they're talking to people that are in space and they grab their fucking cords and shit? They got cords on some of them though, for some reason. I don't know why. Probably to
you don't want to float,
right?
So they don't float away.
Yeah, inside the shuttle. No, I don't know. Maybe they did. It's crazy that they haven't gone back though. You think that?
I mean, that's why we do this show, so we can have this fun debate about whether. And then one was, I'm trying to remember what the one jackass was saying in this video, and I'm probably going to play a clip for it now because he was a jackass, but saying how we didn't go to the moon because we can't. And then in the same interview, he said, but we went and dropped repeaters off up there so we can shoot back video. I was like, so we went all the way up there.
They're like, nah,
we'll just drop these off, but we won't land, and we turn around and come back.
That's crazy. Why would they film it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, spend all that money to go up there and just to send video footage back. So
yeah, it's expensive. Like they take shit up there that's weird for themselves, but like it's expensive to take it, even a hammer and a fucking feather, you know. Well, it's like 10 grand or something each or some shit. So this guy's doing an interview up there and he fucking grabs a basketball. It's like, oh my god, dude, that's expensive as fuck to put down there.
What was Neil Armstrong that hit the golf ball, right?
Oh, I don't know. Not sure.
It could have been another one of the astronauts, but he sliced it and it's hit it out of bounds.
Yeah. Shit, he fucking goes somewhere and it's in a hole.
He's not Barnett.
I was there. That's crazy.
Was that Tyler's golf outing? He got the hole in
I
one.
think so. Yeah.
You were playing. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
you
It was
and
us, right?
Yeah, and Taylor.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just us then.
I was just telling that story, and nobody watching this is going to care, but just telling that story the other day that I wasn't great, but I was decent.
Yeah.
Ron sucked.
Yeah.
All as long as I played, I've never had a hole in one, and he comes up
Yeah.
and gets like,
That's crazy.
"There's your luck for you." Now, now one of the conspiracies that I watched or looked into was they were talking aliens are based on the moon, and
On the dark side too, right?
well, they kind of said both, but
Yeah.
some people will say as soon as they get off in 1969, the aliens are right there. And then others, more wide out conspiracies, will say aliens have bases on the moon.
Why wouldn't they though?
And
If there really was one. I mean, if there's real aliens, I would think they would stick around up there. Or is it like Truman Show where the guy's just up there watching us?
Was he Snidely Whiplash or something?
The Simpsons guy. Mr.
Like evil beard or something. One of the other ones that I watched was, and we talked about it before we went on the air, is people claim that the moon is hollow and alien bases are inside of the moon.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've never really heard that one. I know Hollow Earth I've heard. But.
Right. Yeah, we should talk about that at some point too. I don't know how much you actually believe in hollow Earth.
I mean, I don't know. When I looked into that reptilian stuff, it's like that's where they're at. The reptilian. Who knows, man? That shit is so fucking silly.
So silly, possible, or silly?
Silly both.
But I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Silly.
It is, but it's like, damn, really? What the fuck?
So they did do a test because apparently the hollow moon thing has been going on for 50 years. So why is it every time that we do a podcast, I get a text?
They're like, hey, talk about this. Did anybody win our shirts?
No, nobody even. So we'll have to try again.
Fucking bastards. Not you guys.
Edit.
Edit.
No, they claim they did this thing where they get some kind of reverberation from the moon or something, like causing a moon quake, which is, I don't know. You have to do the research on that one. It was kind of a deep, made you think way too hard video.
Why does it glow like that?
That's from the sun shining.
Oh, my bad. Isn't it got helium in it too, or something like that?
Well, I don't
Seriously,
know.
Not like a balloon, not like I'm saying floating out there. Not like that. I mean, like it's got some chemical or something in it. Where
we haven't been up there enough to do the test, no. So I know we haven't been up there at all, according to you. Who knows?
That's a fucking long ways. How long does it take them to get there?
I don't think it took very long, did it? Like
Probably
a day or two or something like that.
Drive to fucking Arizona. No, I don't know. That's crazy. Only a few people done it.
I mean, tell us what you really feel. Yeah, we didn't leave.
Didn't leave.
I mean, I was waiting for you to talk about the whole we can't leave the Earth because of the radiation belt and stuff like that.
Too. But I think is that further than the moon? I'm not sure.
Well, it kind of circles the whole area.
I heard that too, but then I seen something else where a guy's like, we don't care about the radiation. We're gonna do our science or something like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, but there's different levels of radiation. It wasn't enough radiation to cause harm.
Like 5G radiation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's one I know you want to get into at some points, the whole 5G.
Yeah, not yet. That's all. We know something. But supposedly it's got the same side effects as COVID. weird. Oh, I feel sick. I'm getting a fever. COVID. And that's 6% now. Did you see that?
What 6%?
They're like, they dropped down the death percentage because there was more effects than just COVID people that died. The CDC came out of that.
I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of effects. People that aren't dying are still having effects to
Right.
it, though. But I know we're on different different pages when it comes to COVID. So
that's right. The 15th, I heard, is a no mask day. People are not wearing a mask to rebel, I guess. You know.
Well, see, here's my issue with the people complaining, and we're getting sidetracked, but that's
Sorry.
what we do on this podcast. Is everyone complained about they wanted high school football, and she came out and said, "You guys can play football," and now their parents are bitching that the players have to wear masks.
Yeah, that's bad news, really.
So what do you want? They do it in the wintertime anyways. How many times do you see football players with the
not the mask, right?
Well, they can wear the whatever, the sleeve ones or whatever they're called.
Right. Yeah, they wear the one eye thing or the
Yeah, so what's the difference?
Right.
People just like to bitch.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
Sure. I mean, you're getting to play football, so
why isn't Michigan playing then? If the fucking high school can play,
I think that's turned political, to be honest with you.
For sure.
So what else you got on the moon?
Nasha, Nasha, means in Hebrew means deceive. In Hebrew, like NASA.
Right.
And remember I was talking about the Van Braun or Buren having that thing on his
Werner von Braun.
Yeah, Werner Van Braun, the maker of the rocket.
V2.
V2. Bless you. And then Van Buren, Jack Parsons, Van Braun, whatever, Buren, Braun, Jack Parsons, and L. Ron Hubbard created NASA. You know that?
I've never heard anything about.
I just heard it, just see it in one of those videos. I mean, I have to look more into that, but that's pretty crazy, isn't it? L. Ron Hubbard, Scientologist.
Yeah, I mean, he was a science fiction author, right. So I haven't heard anything about that
Jack
either.
Jack Parsons is a Satanist, known Satanist. So,
well, Jack Parsons is the one nutbag guy that was in the army or whatever, right?
I'm not sure. In the army. Oh, that's Navy, isn't it?
You want to get your village people on, don't you?
Yes. Van Braun. Is it Braun or Buren?
Werner von Braun.
Braun. Oh, okay. Well, he has Psalms 19:1 on his tombstone. And what it does is it talks about the firmament, which means there's a dome around.
So what's that mean?
That means there could be a flat earth, or there could be no way we can fly away from it. I gotta send you a video. We should put this one on where there's a rocket flying and it stops. And it goes whoop, like there's water up there, which is fucking crazy. But it's totally spinning a billion miles an hour and it fucking think stops.
Could it have been faked?
No. Nope.
So the moon landing can be faked, but the that video couldn't be.
Oh, here's the Psalms 19:1. It's the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. That's on that guy's tombstone.
Did he pick that, or did someone?
I don't know, Dan. He didn't fucking tell me that.
You didn't interview him before the show?
Back in the day.
Excuse me, Mr. Von Braun. You got a few minutes before you croak? I need to cover some.
He's like, I said 9/11, not 19:1. Happy 9/11.
There was
I gotta get in trouble for that.
I doubt it.
That's fake.
I mean, most people that watch and listen to this podcast aren't completely sold on
9/11.
9/11 anyways, so
I wouldn't be. Just another fucking bullshit lie. But that was a big one. It's like Pearl Harbor, you know.
was Pearl Harbor a bullshit lie?
Oh yeah, they knew they were coming.
Oh yeah, they knew they were coming. They just
let them do it so they could go to war.
I mean, America was already cashing in on both sides before World War II.
Sure.
I mean, they were supplying Germany and England and stuff, not necessarily Japan. Well, I don't understand what that was all about. Maybe Japan was getting pissed off with America.
They're Japanese. Japanese. That's crazy. A lot of false flags are supposed to come up here real soon. But they were already supposed to happen. I don't know. And Capricorn 1, we can talk about that movie. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it, but I know what
it's on YouTube, I guess. The full movie. But it's back in 1977. It's got OJ in it, and it's about a fake landing on Mars. So, I mean, that'd be kind of interesting to see how they really did it.
And somebody took that, meaning that was
that was in 77. So it was
Hollywood saying that they created the moon landing.
Stanley Kubrick created it.
And what'd you tell me before we started recording about Kubrick and Nixon?
Oh, that was on that thing. We can put that on video.
Yeah, but what did they say? I mean, I'll include the audio clip, but
they were asking Kubrick to do it because he did 2001 Space Odyssey. I know. And then, yeah, no, exactly. And then they asked him to borrow the studio. Remember, we'll use it for the weekend,
right?
And then they were going to use CIA agents as the astronauts, but they were talking to Rumsfeld, which is he's a crooked fucker too. So who knows if it's fake? I don't know. I don't know if it's real. How can it be real?
I mean, I told you
it's $30 billion too.
In today's money.
Oh, it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if there was $30 billion then, but.
And then The Shining, remember I was talking about that. There's all types of weird. There's a movie called Room 237. I think on the other video I said 273 or something. It's 237, and they talk about how he had to be, the kid actually freaks out and comes out of the room and can't speak. They were saying that is how Stanley Kubrick was because he couldn't talk about the moon landing to anybody. You know, he had to keep it totally quiet. And then there's the kid standing there and the ball rolls to him in that part. You remember that?
Right.
Well, he's got Apollo 11 rocket on his sweater and he looks up and he stands up like it's lifting. Then there's other spots where he's got Tang in it, which is a space drink. And then some other shit. It's crazy. But it's just weird.
Now, did Kubrick say that all this, or did somebody just?
Not somebody. Just I don't think he said it, but he in the 237 they show that it was Stephen King's book, right?
Right.
Well, Stephen King had a red buggy or a fucking rabbit. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And
a bug.
Yeah, a bug. And in the beginning of the movie Shining, there's a fucking red bug that's got destroyed by some truck or something. So he's like saying that this is my movie. It's your book, my movie, and he changed everything to it. Crazy.
Well, Stephen King did come out with a different, I think it was The Shining, the closer to his book version of.
Oh, really? What the heck?
I mean, he's done that a couple of times. Maybe it wasn't The Shining. I could be totally remembering or screwing up my Stephen King movies, but I know he came out specifically with one that because he really hated how somebody made the movie about his book. So he sort of financed this movie and like, this is.
That's what it is. The moon is 237 miles away. Turning 237,000 miles away. That's why it's room 237. Crazy. There's all types of weird shit. But it's called
So a created coincidence.
sure. What is it called? What did I say it was called? Oh, room 237.
Right.
Research that. It's fucking brain blowing. It's crazy.
So do you believe there's like a space station and all that, like International Space Station?
Yeah, I think there's satellites, I guess. But like they don't go as far as like we think that they do. You know what I mean? There's only certain far they can go.
What about Voyager and all the probes and stuff they've?
Is that Star Trek? What's Voyager?
No, it's
Is that
a
the big space
probe
station? Oh,
that
probes
they
probably
sent
are different.
that they
Right.
sent out, and they've sent pictures back like Jupiter and
And Mars.
right.
I've seen some of those recently. Yeah, I don't know. They can do anything they want, really. Tell us anything they want. You know? Like I went to Jupiter the other day.
Yeah, but that was when you're taking acid. So.
The other day.
I don't know. You tell me.
What do you think? You think you think it's all real, right?
I think we landed on the moon. I do think it's strange that we haven't been back since 1970.
How come that space shuttle blew up? Do you remember that?
It was an O-ring problem.
An O-ring? Is that what they said?
I think that's what it was.
I don't know. But all of a sudden,
Something to do with the fuel lines or something.
all these people are alive still, supposedly. And they are. A couple of them have twins.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if some of those was like 6 people died in that.
There's 7 astronauts.
Somebody would have spoken up by now. It's
What
like,
do you think?
Here I am.
I don't know.
I mean, it's like the whole Jimmy Hoffa thing. If he's not dead, then
Tupac and Biggie.
especially in this day and age where people have to come out and cash in on everything,
Right.
you know, people like that are gonna.
But not if they sign a life oath. Or the fucking Freemasons.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, look at Trump. Trump just got sued by the porno chick and she signed a confidentiality thing, and that did absolutely nothing.
Yeah. No, I mean life, like their life's on it. That's what Freemasons do.
That is one I really want to talk about. Masons.
Did I send you the Bible one? The Freemasons Bible?
No.
That's crazy too.
But that is weird how so many early presidents, I don't know necessarily now, but
right.
When the country formed, how many of them were big time Masons and stuff. So
right. And then they wrote the Bill of Rights, you know. So they were on their side. So what happened to the Freemasons? They turned into the Illuminati.
I don't know. That's why we need to talk about it sometime.
We need to research it.
Bilderbergs and stuff like that. And
yeah. That's what they did at the Bohemian Grove when they do the rituals. They do it. It's called the cremation of care. So they kill their care of anything that they do. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a conscience. It's fucked up, man.
Well, most billionaires don't anyway. So
it's because of that.
I mean, if you had that much money, you wouldn't have a care in the world.
I'd be doing podcasts all day long.
Would you be doing podcasts? You'd be paying somebody to do your podcast.
And you know,
and then killing them.
Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear is the one.
You told me I don't have a kid, so.
But then the cowboy. Fuck, I didn't have a kid back then. I was fucking a kid probably. Buzz Lightyear, and then the cowboy. I can't remember his name, but that's
Woody something.
Woody, that's right. You fucking closet Toy Story.
Yes,
that's Tom Hanks. But the carpet in that is the same carpet they use in The Shining. Isn't that fucked up?
Isn't it a cartoon?
It's I think it is cartoonish claymation. It's fucking works or whatever the fuck that is.
So what's that say about the? I mean, what's the
They
correlation?
talk about, there's a like all those kid movies that do that. I can't remember what it's called.
Those are all computer.
Right.
Pixar.
Pixar,
Yeah.
Like what's the one where they dream, or the Monsters Inc. Remember that?
I know what it's called, but I've never seen.
Well, they fill this energy meter when they scare kids when they're in bed and they think there's a monster in the closet. So this energy meter goes up. Oh, fuck, it's adrenochrome. You scare a kid and the shit goes up. A meter of fucking fluid. That's nuts.
So how was it? Do they say it's adrenochrome?
No, but that's what happens when you scare a kid. That certain adrenochrome goes into their
Adrenaline goes, yeah.
Blood. That's crazy.
I mean, that happens.
Then they get energy out of it.
That happens with everything, though, with adrenaline.
Remember Red Dawn when they shot the deer and they're like, drink the blood.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the same thing. It's fucking gross, but.
I mean, you have to ask hunters. I don't know.
Right, I know.
I'm not a hunter, and I don't know what kind of
Patrick Swayze.
Strange, yeah. Patrick Swayze, Sheen.
I think maybe not.
Charlie Sheen was for sure. Mila West. No, I don't know. It's been so long. Well, one of the other moon things that I thought was interesting was we talked about the aliens and stuff like that. There was one, and I think it was the Sumerians, said that the moon isn't a natural satellite. It was actually placed here by their gods, which would be the aliens.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
That's weird. It's still there. You heard about that one satellite that they had? It's been there 250,000 years or something. Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's called the Dark something. I don't know. Just send you that one too. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, that is one weird thing about the moon is the moon doesn't revolve around the Earth like most moons do for other planets. It
stays on one side.
It turns in sequence with the Earth.
It's weird too.
And I get where the conspiracy people come up with it. It's not a natural satellite because it doesn't go around the Earth like we go around the moon or the sun.
So the sun is hitting off the moon. That's why we see it as the moon.
Right. That's another strange coincidence which I know you don't believe in coincidences. And that's why we get complete eclipses is because they're geometrically the same diameter, the Earth, the moon, and the sun. That's why you get complete eclipses and stuff.
Perfectly.
Right.
It's unreal.
And the whole conspiracy to that was that's why it's fake. I don't know.
The moon landing's fake or the moon is fake?
The moon is fake and was placed there. And
some people have said that the moon and sun are the same thing. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that, but
that's not true because I've seen them both at the same time. You know what I mean?
I mean, one is solid and one is burning. So yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can go try to land on the sun. You're not going to last very long, but
try to land on the moon. I think it's helium 2.0 or some shit that they.
I think it sounds sort of familiar, but I watched so much stuff and was reading so much stuff about the moon.
Sometimes research gets to you, folks.
Yeah, my head was about to explode.
Then what's the thing they fly off the moon with? What's that?
The lander.
The lander.
Yeah.
Sorry. When it flies off, there's like the fucking one of the walls that's like fluttering or something. Like it's ripped. Like, holy fuck, how are they gonna get back on that? They fly back up to the rocket? Is that what happens with that little thing?
Yeah, they depart from the It like gets in orbit or whatever, and
Right. That's fucking craziness.
but they
Imagine trying to get to the moon. What directions? You know?
I mean, you just wait for it and then you just shoot yourself towards it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I don't know. Okay, nobody has been there.
Maybe they have. We've been lied to a lot.
I mean, there was some way out there conspiracies that say the Russians were actually there first. And then some of the stuff that you got to really blow off, in my opinion, for the conspiracies, as they were talking about, you know, if there's no gravity and no wind, why is the flag fluttering?
Yeah.
But yet you see him, the guy, Neil Armstrong, trying to get it straight up and down. That's why it's waving around.
Yeah. What about the rock? Isn't there a rock that's numbered or something?
Yeah, I seen that, and it's like, okay, maybe that was just a picture. I do.
And the face on the moon, you know, how they got
that's
that
on
one?
Mars.
Oh, it is Mars?
Yeah.
It's like, so what? It's not like someone put it there as a face, you know?
Hello. How you
smiling
doing?
Like selling burgers down there or something.
Eat it, Joe's. Eat it, Joe's.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I did think was kind of strange is them losing
All the footage.
all the footage and stuff.
Yes, what? Forgot about that part.
I mean,
That's crazy.
but that happened, unfortunately, more
No.
back then than you want, because
Did you ever watch Tiger King?
Yes.
Sorry about that. That's all right, show. I couldn't stop watching the fucker. Anyways, when that guy's shit got blown up, all that footage,
Right.
and he was fucking destroyed after that. His heart broke and everything. He was like, all this footage. What the fuck? That's the moon landing. That should be hidden, like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I totally agree with you that it shouldn't be.
All that money for that? Come on, I don't get it. They are.
I mean, there was
such lying
TV shows
motherfuckers.
back then, when I know it's TV shows and the moon landing different, but everything was on videotape, so they had to store that. And what they did in the 60s and 70s was, when stuff got filled, they just, instead of keeping it for posterity, they destroyed it.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that happened in Hollywood.
Do you remember? Do you ever hear how they did baseball games like way back? Like they'd have they'd watch it and then they'd chew wood together and go like a ball hit.
Adding sound like
yes, and then talk about it. Hey, he's got a base hit.
Foley artists, I think,
Is
is
that
what
what it
they
is?
were called.
It's crazy.
The ones that, like, you always hear people running and you hear the steps and stuff, and how
those are fucking sweet.
they're called
videos.
Foley artists.
Nuts.
We
That's a
got
lie.
we got in the wrong business, so.
Yes. No Foleying around.
Not Dave Foley or whatever that
Oh,
comedian.
news radio.
Yeah.
Rogan.
So you don't believe that we went to the moon ultimately?
I don't know how we did and why we haven't gone back.
I mean, you keep saying why we haven't gone back, but maybe it's just a monetary
Or were
thing.
we threatened? It can't be a monetary thing.
Maybe the aliens
We're
told
supposed
us.
to go back, so I guess I don't know.
Maybe the aliens said no.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
you got your visit.
There's a video on YouTube called Web Collections, or that's the channel, and it's called Finally Buzz Tells the Truth, and he tells a little girl that we really never been there before. I have it. I can send it to you.
We'll post that.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if
Along with this one.
He's a Looney Tune too. When Donald Trump was talking about going to space, and he's standing next to him, have you seen that video?
I have not.
Oh, it's so fucking good, dude. Trump's talking about like since we're going back to space, and he's like, yeah, right. Making all these facial. It's great. It's great. It's fucking great. You should put that one on.
Maybe it was because I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm. He's looking at him, and it was great. It tells a lot.
I mean, I don't know who loves Trump more, you or the My Pillow guy.
Oh yeah. Well, he fucking's in his mirror probably. My Pillow guy's fucking Looney Tunes himself.
Yeah, a little bit. But it is what it is.
He
So
makes pillows.
we'd be curious to know what everybody that watches this video or listens to this podcast, what they think. So we'll do a sort of unofficial conspiracy conspiracy beerist.
Wayne
Yeah. Poll. Do you believe
Migalski.
that we went to the moon, or do you think it was a Hollywood creation by Stanley Kubrick?
And then his movie Eyes Wide Shut, he wasn't allowed to put it out the way it was, so they cut it and stuff. Some producers or whatever cut some shit out of it, but he died either just after it released or just before, and they cut all the shit out. Well, at the end of it, it does all the people eat poop and shit at these fucking rich elite parties, and they all have orgies and drugs, obviously. But then he shows at the end that Tom Cruise and what's her face, his ex-wife.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
They're walking with their daughter, and they let the daughter go, and they just sit there and watch her walk away, like pedophilia. Just saying, they cut that out, and then he dies because he fucking tried telling too much.
Well, he was an old dude too when he made it, so
Yeah.
I'm totally forgetting what her name is now, but
Fuck, I can't remember.
didn't she like divorce him right after, or
Yeah, they were fighting, I guess, during.
Nicole Kidman? That's her.
Yeah, married, what's his face, the Australian fucking country guy.
what was that?
He's pretty good though, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't. Don't ask me on country singer's name. I don't know. It's not Garth Brooks or.
Google it. The other day on our video, we're looking for NASA pics. They're fucking link,
Did you say you're looking up dick pics?
NASA.
Oh, NASA.
Deceive NASA. Snake tongue.
Yeah, because I always thought that she left because they were fighting and he was getting big into the Scientology, and she's like, yeah.
Well, her dad was big into the Hollywood too.
Her dad was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Huge. So she's born into it.
But yet she's Australian.
Bloody Australian.
Hmm.
It's not bloody, is it?
So what do you want to talk about next time? Is there anything
I'm not sure. You want the
coming up?
Freemasons, huh? One of these days?
One of these days I'd like to talk about the Masons and really talk about, because there's a lot to go. I mean, we can go way back to the pyramid.
Oh, yeah. That's who killed Jesus, Freemasons. So.
It wasn't the Egyptians.
No,
it was.
No, it wasn't the Jews either.
Well, he was a Jew. So.
And then I seen something where they were talking about all these things that we've been told that deflect everything else. Like Hitler killed all these Jews because there were so many regular people that died. There's like 40 million regular people died or some shit.
Died for what?
From that war.
Oh, for World War II?
Yeah. But what was how many Jews died?
I
can't remember.
A ton.
Yeah, a ton. Probably a couple tons.
Wow.
Speaking of Jews, O.J. Simpson's in that Capricorn one. Oh, Jews.
Need to get a rim shot. It's queued up. So nobody claimed our free Conspiracy Beerists t-shirt that I'm wearing.
Sweet shirt.
So if you want to email us at conspiracybeerists911@gmail.com and
girl, boy.
tell us the name of our third co-host down here, my cat Kobe. Tell us what the cat's name is, and you will win yourself a free Conspiracy Beerists t-shirts. Compliments of Brian and I. So thank you all for tuning in. We'd love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment on video. If there's something you'd want to hear us talk about, just let us know. And remember, don't take our word for it.
Do your research. Later.
I'm so laid back this time.
Last week blasted my fucking ears. That was ridiculous. Smack the fuck.
Ryan and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe either wherever it is you listen to the podcast or on YouTube. And if you have a suggestion of a conspiracy you'd like us to talk about, let us know on Facebook or YouTube at Conspiracy Beerists. And until next time, remember, the truth is out there. You just have to know where to look.
WLLP, Spock Rock Radio.